Hello, and welcome to Where You Not Entertained, where two film fans discuss their favorite flicks. I'm Daniel.
And I'm James.
And we are going to be discussing a new TV series. New to us, new to our show. We just finished The Witcher. We hear tell that The Mandalorian Season 2 should be coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
And we did not discuss Season 1, so we're going to go ahead and do that so that we can discuss Season 2.
Indeed. Now, quick question. Have you seen all of the episodes, or is this the first one and only one you've seen?
This is the first and only one I've seen.
Okay. For disclosure's sake, I have seen the entire season. I watched it episode by episode as it came out. So,
well, it's
I will
short.
do
There's
my
only
best.
8 episodes, I think.
Right. But I'll do my best not to reveal any future information since I know how it rolls.
Cool. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, but you get kind of both sides of it if you've seen it already, everything already, or if you're kind of going episode by episode, then we got both your perspectives here.
Yeah. Well, and it's apparently got a lot of famous folks.
Oh, yeah. It's got a great cast. It's gotten incredible reviews, both from critics and from fans.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I don't know. I think that it's the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a super long episode or anything like that. I thought it was
I think most of the
okay.
episodes are like 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was okay. I wasn't like blown away like some people seem to be. But I do think it fit in the Star Wars world.
Yeah, no, it had the feels of Star Wars. I mean, they really laid into the space western that you got from, episode 4, the first movie,
right?
First Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Even the intro music had this kind of good and the bad and the ugly feel to it. It had, with the high whistles and stuff like that, and by the way, we're going to spoil the whole episode. So
yes.
Later on, you had the situation where he's going to hunt down the prize for the client, and you had the scorched earth. Basically, it's like such a dry land that you had the ground cracking the way you would expect in like a desert or somewhere that had rain and then it completely dried up. But it's on this massive scale. And so it has kind of those Western feels, but with this larger than life space opera feel to it too. But as you were saying, the reason why I think that you might not have been as into it as other people were is I found a lot of your like hardcore Star Wars fans from back in the day who have not enjoyed the new movies as much, didn't like how big they tried to be. And
I guess that's fair.
This grounds it a little bit more. This is more, I think, what they were hoping to see, because that kind of fan has spent so much time in the Star Wars universe through the first 6 movies that came out, and all the video games, and all the extended universe books and comic books, and the Clone Wars TV show and animations, that there tends to be more of a desire for your kind of ground floor everyday life style stories instead of it always having to be save the galaxy.
Right. Okay. And yeah, fair enough.
That's what we finally got from this in video form.
Yeah.
So it's a good juxtaposition against the grandiosity of the movies.
Right.
Grandiosity is a word. I don't know.
Well, we'll call it a word.
Yeah. I just made it up with one. It is now.
Yes. Well, and I will say, so I wasn't, I'm not saying that to say I was disappointed in it or anything like that. I did think it was good. I just wasn't like astonished by it, I guess.
I think that's right.
There's plenty of parts of it that I really enjoyed. I think that the droid, of course, at the end, this kind of
IG-11.
Yeah, what I'm going to bring up is the end, but where he keeps trying to self-destruct.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't self-destruct.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah, Taika Waititi.
Playing the droid, yep.
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal playing the Mandalorian. That's a great combo. Those two were awesome together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this thing really, I mean, Nick Nolte, Taika Waititi, John Beasley, directed, or not directed, but written and created by Jon Favreau. It's a pretty star-packed production.
Herzog, yeah. There's some pretty big names in this.
Yeah. Yes,
Horatio Sands as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He played the blue guy in the beginning.
Right.
That's who that was.
I recognize the voice. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
We can't forget about Carl Weathers either.
No, let's not forget about Pearl Carl.
Hey, man, like he's from Predator, bro.
I know. He's been doing this for a while.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised too. I expected him to be way bigger than he was. I mean, he was sitting down the whole time, but like after Predator, that's like the last thing I really remember him in. I know he's been in a bunch of other stuff. I just don't. It doesn't sink into my mind as hard as that movie does, and so.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't look like he had
Happy
Arnold
Gilmore,
arms under that shirt.
Rocky.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he's been in a ton of great movies, but when I think of him, I think of Predator.
Right. Yeah.
The whole like both of them, grabbing their hands together. I guess like they're gonna arm wrestle in the air.
Right.
Famous scene.
Yeah.
And somebody's arms are nearly the size of Arnold's. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, that is true. Fair enough.
Stuck in my mind.
So
man.
Yeah, there it is. The moment that cemented him in your head.
Exactly. That's how I'll always remember him.
Yep. Why not? But yeah, so I mean, it was really good, and I enjoyed the character of the Mandalorian. I like how he's played so far, which is, the whole talk softly, swing a big hammer.
Hey, carry a big stick, yeah.
However you want to say it.
Yeah, a big gun, whatever. No, that's kind of brings up one thing that I wanted to talk about in this one that I didn't notice the first time I had watched it back in the day, like a couple months back when it came out. Right. There's very much a video game aspect to it. You have the silent protagonist style where he has very little to say, so it's easy to imagine yourself in their shoes. And then you have where the armorer makes armor for him with the reward that he gets, which is the Beskin. It's a kind of metal that they use for the Mandalorian armor. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it's called exactly. But it's almost like he completed a quest and then got a piece of gear for it. And it just has that kind of fulfilling style loop that you'd expect from a video game to keep you hooked. And I thought that was an interesting adaptation for a TV show. He has one really shiny pauldron and he has one old beat up one with a dent in it. Now I'm, excited to see if he gets another pauldron.
Right.
I know what happens, but I mean,
but yeah.
But yeah, it has that kind of aspect of like upgrading your character as you go based off the quests that you've completed, which I think is a solid format and should probably be adopted by more media forms.
That's interesting. That's very true. I didn't really think of it that way. I mean, I noticed that, but I didn't think of it in those terms, I guess.
Yeah. One thing else that I definitely wanted to make sure that I mentioned was that there was a reference to Life Day in this. I think that's glorious. Do you know what Life Day is, by the way?
No.
Life Day, the infamous, and I say infamous, Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one is all about Chewbacca's family celebrating Life Day. And after the less than positive reception is the way I'll say it. For the Christmas special, they've kind of just dropped Life Day in most situations in the Star Wars universe and pretended like it never happened.
Right.
So I thought that it was pretty funny and kind of a nice nod to the fans in the past, to have another live action TV Star Wars show, and you get a Life Day reference in the first 15 minutes of the episode of the series.
Interesting. Okay.
It was when I don't remember how to say his name. Horatio Sands' character, the blue guy that he's captured in the very beginning.
Mithril?
Sure, we'll say that. When he's down in the bottom of the ship looking for the evacuator, and he's kind of poking around down there. He talks about how he hasn't evacuated his thorax since the last Life Day or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't really get that reference, so it just didn't stick.
Yeah. I was very much, nice throwback there. Especially to probably the least appreciated piece of Star Wars. I mean, people like the Star Wars special less than they like episode 2. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's that level. They'd rather listen to how much Anakin hates sand than to watch the holiday special.
That's okay. That's not good.
I have seen the entire holiday special. It is one of the whitest hot pieces of garbage I've ever seen, to such a degree that I thoroughly enjoy it. And I'm not typically it's so bad, it's so good kind of person, but This is so bad that it's good. It is hilarious. There's some weird hologram hologram machine that a grandpa Wookiee puts on his head, and I'm guessing masturbates or orgasms to it. It's weird, man. It gets strange.
That sounds very strange, and now I'm not sure.
All the Wookiees talk in their own language, and it's not subtitled. It's all pantomimed, or when you have random human characters show up, they're doing the whole interpretation like you see from the movies.
Really?
It's a strange show, man. It was some weird choices in that one. But it was great. Well, anyway, this wasn't about the holiday special. This was about the first episode of Mandalorian.
Yes. Yes, it was.
By the way, it's probably going to ruin your life now. Well, not, at least every time you speak to me, because I am totally stealing I Have Spoken.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I really did. I really did enjoy that. Cool. How do you... Yeah, I'm not even sure how to pronounce his
I'm just going to say Coyle?
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. I don't know.
Nick Nolte.
Yeah, we're going to say Nick Nolte's character.
Yeah.
The guy who taught the Mandalorian how to be a blurg whisperer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
His name is Khalil. I have spoken.
Right. That's what but no, I think it's pronounced I have spoken. Okay, fair enough, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, there was some stuff in here that was really good. And then of course at the very end you do have the reveal.
The baby Yoda.
Yeah. You think he's coming in, or I thought he was coming in to just get a regular bounty. Mm-hmm. I mean, I knew Baby Yoda is in this somewhere. I just didn't know from jump.
You didn't know if it was episode 1 or not. Yeah.
Right. And so I was expecting him to come in and have to fight somebody that was super hardcore. And you'd get to see, how badass the Mandalorian is. And you still get to see that, don't get me wrong, but it's not you don't get a one-on-one battle. Instead you get him walking into a room that's got a floating baby bassinet or a crib or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got Yoda in it.
Yeah, the weird part to me is it was all covered up with a net, like it had been sitting there for a while. I'm like, when was the last time you fed this thing?
Right.
Was this weeks ago and you just threw the net when you got back to base or whatever, and you're or maybe they were last minute trying to hide it or something because they were being attacked. I don't know. I guess that's a plausible excuse.
Maybe, yeah. Not really sure.
Yep, we get the adorable baby Yoda that has stolen the hearts of many over the last few months.
Yep, exactly. Memed up.
But I think we pretty well covered the first episode, considering our runtime is about half the length of the actual episode itself. So let's go ahead and jump in real quick. What was your favorite scene, Daniel?
Are we gonna do that on these?
We won't every time, but I really have one on this one that I kind of want to cover.
Okay.
And I have a feeling it might be the same as yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I hadn't even thought about it.
I'll jump out there. It was literally that battle at the end before they get to the Baby Yoda. We've talked about it briefly, but the chemistry between Pedro Pascal and Taika Waititi were amazing, and that was just it kind of told you what to expect, at least to a degree. That it's going to have your cool battles. It's going to have your Star Wars stuff. It's the lasers instead of bullets. Your bigger weapons brought in and stuff like that. But then it's still got the underlying humor to it. And that just because the Mandalorian is more of your silent protagonist than a standard protagonist for a TV show, there can still be some pretty humorous banter. So,
right.
Super awesome. Yeah, it was a great culmination to the first episode. I feel like it really hooks you well. If you don't like what you saw here, you're probably not going to like what you're going to get for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, like I said, I liked it just fine. Yeah, so I guess if we're doing favorite scenes, I would have to say that my favorite scene was actually the very beginning.
Okay.
Because that's
when he walks into the bar?
Yeah, he walks into the bar, and the guy, we'll say the bar bully, right?
Yeah.
Is currently harassing one person, about to cut his fins off, or his gills. Sorry,
his glands.
Was it glands?
Yeah, he was going to sell his glands at the docks or whatever.
Well, anyway, he was about to disfigure the guy, and then the Mandalorian walks in, kind of minding his own business, not really minding his own business. He's there for a purpose.
Yeah,
but then the guy immediately turns his attention to him and tries to do the whole tough guy thing, and gets owned, him and his buddies.
That didn't work out too well for him.
No, one of his buddies got chopped in half by the door.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
I like how that set that up too, because it wasn't going to be these like, did he kill him or did he just hurt him really bad kind of thing. Like, no. There's full on chopping a dude in half in this. It doesn't graphically show it, so it still has that kind of like PG-13 kind of feel to it. But there's some real world consequences to these guys. They're not just going home nursing their wounds.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that guy's done for.
I mean, he was an alien, so I guess he could theoretically regrow his bottom half depending on his species, but the implication is that guy's dead.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not going to read that much into it.
Right. All right. Well, then I think that about wraps it up for episode 1 of The Mandalorian. Definitely stay tuned. We will be covering the rest of these so that whenever the new season comes out, we can be week to week with those.
Yep.
And be a little bit more topical because the season's been out for a few months at this point. But we're getting caught up, and hopefully with some time off that a lot of people are getting to experience, they'll get to be caught up on Mandalorian if they missed it over the last holiday season earlier this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and join us next time on Were You Not Entertained?